From the BBR studios once again, it is Line Locked Podcast. I'm Chris, and my partner,
Corey.
Are you my partner or am I my brother?
I don't know. You're host, I'm co-host.
There we go. We are at episode 19.
19, baby.
19, almost to the big 2-0.
Yeah.
Almost old enough to buy beer.
I really hope you guys have been enjoying this. We have been enjoying making it. So I hope you guys have been enjoying listening to it or watching it. It's been a lot of fun. Today we have a great guest, Kevin, coming back on. He was, I can't remember the episodes. We should have researched it. We never do.
We never research anything.
He came on a few episodes ago and talked about his sick week he's getting ready for sick week. And
yes.
Now he's back from sick week, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes, absolutely.
We're also going to do this a little bit different today. We're actually going to bring him in for the news because some of our news actually deals with the sick week, and I figure maybe he'll have some thoughts on that. So we're going to bring him in. But first, we need to talk about our little giveaway because we're going to...
Yep. Yeah, so Rich over at Auto Rod Controls, Corporation.
Yep. Sorry about that, Rich. We screwed that all up last episode.
Yeah. On the last episode, we talked about having a giveaway, and he's graciously given us a $50 certificate to use towards any of his products.
Yep.
And so we said, hey, we'll set up a little trivia thing, and here is the question. It is from episode 13. Hint, hint. You'll have to go back and listen. He was talking, and he said that one of his versions he brought out to PRI. So the question is, what year did Auto Rod Controls at the time bring a working version of the 6001 to PRI show? And he's going to give you a $50 certificate for that used against any of his products, and that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. It's really cool for you to do that for us and our listeners, our viewers.
Yeah, so if you know the answer to that, do not comment in the comments here.
We will have to delete it if we see it come up.
You'll have to write us at linelockedpodcast@gmail.com.
Right up here, boys. Right up here.
So just put that in there, and then maybe next episode we'll pick somebody.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We want to get a few in there so we can try to draw out of the hat. If we don't get a whole bunch, maybe the first person to do it, we'll just have to see. But, get in there.
Yeah.
It's $50.
Yeah.
Ain't bad.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing is that, it's not only is this a little different episode, we're doing things a little different. Me and Corey, as you can probably tell if you're watching the video of this, we're pretty grudgy right now.
And we're dirty.
And when a guest says, hey, I'm ready right now, we just do it. We didn't have time to go in and take a shower, get it all cleaned up, change clothes and all that. But we had a busy last 3 days, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
So what do we do?
Well, do we want to go into that? Or
we can talk about it.
We made a purchase. We had to go down to Georgia to pick it up. Do we want to tell what it is?
Just tell what it is.
We got a stacker trailer.
Yeah.
So we're big time now, I guess. But
we're going to roll in there like we're big time.
Yeah. And we'll be out of there by qualifying, baby.
Yes. After round one, we're out.
It ain't going to make our racing any better, but at least we'll go there in style.
Yeah.
But we pulled that thing back home, and I tell you, it pulls nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a picture back here of it. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. But it was cool.
That's a huge bitch. That's what it is.
It is a big bitch. But anyway, we're real excited about it. We're going to end up making a video on the Blood Brothers channel about it probably, and maybe the experience of going down and getting it and all that.
Yeah.
But, stay tuned for that.
Yes.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bring Kevin in so that we can go through the TikTok tragedy and news, and then we'll talk about his sick week experience.
Yeah, so you ready? You want to bring the big guy in?
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Kevin?
Good. How are you doing, fellas?
Not too bad. Thanks for pressuring us to get this done today. So it's not like we didn't have anything else to do.
I mean, we could have waited. I thought, well,
Hey, Chris is here, so we might as well just get her done.
Yeah.
But first thing we got to do before we go into the news, we're going to do our TikTok tragedy. Anyway, TikTok tragedies. All right, so let me share the screen over here to right here.
All right, here we go. Hit play, man. Let's do it. So this is an older video.
Yeah, and it's actually so it's a Camaro versus like probably a 55 Chevy
55.
Tri-5.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're on the straight part, maybe the pits.
It's the pits. It looks like from
of a round track.
Yep. Okay. Exactly.
A little squirrely there by the Camaro. Oh,
He got really squirrely.
yeah.
Oh, they're both getting squirrely.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Oh, where's his feet at?
that
Holy
is
moly.
crazy. How is that even possible?
I mean, at what point do you think, well, maybe I should just lift out of gas and just live another
Yeah,
day?
you definitely could have. But look at, I mean, geez,
Oh, nice
he
T-shirt.
just walked out.
Yes. At least he had a helmet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that other than this is the reason we wear all the protective equipment, as far as seat belts and everything else, because it seems like he either didn't have it or maybe just a lap belt. It doesn't. You really can't tell or not if he had a roll cage. It doesn't appear.
It doesn't appear to
Doesn't
be.
look like it.
It doesn't appear to.
You don't
But
think it would have been better if you got out with a lit cigarette, you know?
yeah, or as he opens the door, just a bunch of beer cans fall out.
Yeah, smoke a cigarette, beer cans fall out.
Yeah, dude, it was a rough one to watch. We hope that it never happens to anybody, but this is the reason that we wear protective equipment. Make sure you have your seatbelts installed correctly and you wear them. And we also, I mean, most all the drag strips we go to, I don't care what speed you're going, you're going to have a long sleeve shirt on, long pants. So that was kind of weird too. But I think this is fairly old.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's at least 3 or 4 years old.
Really
Yeah.
beautiful car. I hope you got it fixed up. I don't know that you can.
That's our set. I'm not sure there's a lot of fixing there.
Well, that front left fender, it looks like it could be reused. Everything else, I don't think it has a straight panel on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it might
that's
be
really
total.
sad. But it looks like the Camaro getting in his lane is what caused the whole.
Possible. I mean,
Yeah.
he might have got a little scared and kind of swerved.
All right,
Lost
well,
it.
so that is going to be our TikTok tragedy for today.
Ta-da.
And now it's
I mean, apparently you're just running out of talent, I think. So.
well, I don't want to say that. I mean, well, the thing is to say that is to say that I would have more talent to keep me from doing it, and that's not the case. I think a lot of times, unless you're in that situation, you just don't know whether you're capable.
I'm of the impression that the guy does not drag race normally.
Yeah.
And that was probably his street-driven car, and that he didn't realize he was going to have that kind of an issue.
Yeah,
I mean-
well, it's hard to tell, man. That's scary. It's a scary sport.
Yeah.
That can happen anywhere, right,
Yeah.
Kevin? I mean, I don't know how long or how if you've had any little touchy situation. Chris had one. His last race down there,
Yeah.
he got close to the wall and
Yeah.
ended up lifting because he didn't know how much talent he had.
I didn't know. I found out really quick. Found out really quick. Best thing to do is just let out the gas.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to attempt to see how much talent he had. But yeah, it definitely happens, and it happens fast. So, I hate it for the guy. I hope that the car at least, he could. I don't know what to even say about it.
Yeah.
He's got a good video. So there's
Wear
that.
your seatbelts next time,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go on to the news. I'm gonna hit the news button here.
From the Line Locked Studios, it is the news with your host, Corey.
That's me. All right, so the news today is first thing is the Skag Superstar Shootout just finished. So we're just going to talk about the winners there. The finals in Pro Stock came down to Erica Enders and Dave Connolly. Erica was in the left lane, had an 025 reaction, and Dave was in the right lane with an 034. Looks like not a whole shot win because it looked like Erica was winning the entire time because she had a 653 to his 657. Mm-hmm. But she won $125,000.
Man, that girl's unstoppable.
Yeah, she's good. She's real good.
Yeah. I mean, she's always got that attitude at the end of it. Every time
Yeah.
I see an interview
Well,
with her, she's got that, like,
She
just
does.
leave me alone.
She does, and she has that catch saying that drive the bitch back. You hear
Yes.
that? So, and whenever she wins, she drives it back to the winner's circle.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool, right?
All right. Yeah.
See here in Funny Car, we had Austin Prock against Matt Hagan. See here, Austin Prock had an 074 reaction to Matt Hagan's 065, and didn't look like he actually went around on the big end because he was at 384 at 332, and Matt Hagan was 387 at 329. So he ended up getting him on the big end. But that's how that went. They won Proc won $250,000 for that showing. And as we know, if you've been listening to the last podcast, that's a lot better than what the NHRA pays out because they only pay 50.
Yeah.
All right. In Top Fuel, we had Doug Coletta and Clay Milliken. Doug was in the left lane at a 070 reaction, and Clay was in the right lane with an 079 reaction. So a little bit slower on the tree. Coletta won with a 370 to Milliken's 422. So it looks like Clay must have spun the tires. We did not get to watch this said race because we were driving.
Yes.
From Georgia.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. And Coletta won $250,000.
You notice that the faster they went, the worse the reaction times got?
Well, in Top Fuel, they don't actually have a trans brake. They hit the pedal.
They just go.
Yeah. And so inherently, when you do that with the clutch slip, you're going to have worse reaction times.
Yeah.
There is some guys out there that can kill the tree, but they're almost, I don't think that that's really a desirable trait for a Top Fuel driver. I mean, obviously they want to be good, and under 100. But if you look at any Top Fuel stuff, they're always 40s to 70s.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
So $250,000. Hey, Kevin, what's the most you've ever won?
Nowhere near that, buddy.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. But they had a new world record come during it. Bob Tasca went through the traps at 341.68 mile per hour. Ooh. ET of 384. That is the fastest car in Top Fuel, dragster or otherwise.
So was this in
King
testing?
of speed?
Was this in testing?
Qualifying.
Qualifying, so it counts.
King of speed. Now there is some people saying no.
No, it don't count
because it didn't happen during the NHRA season. Because this was a non-NHRA event. This was a pro race. So all the Top Fuel and pro drivers have basically a union. Have you heard about this, Kevin?
Yeah.
All right, and it's called Pro, right? And they all pay into it kind of like union, and that is the people that put this event on. So they're saying, some people are crybabying on the internet saying this record doesn't count because it wasn't an NHRA event.
Oh.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Kevin?
Sound like a bunch of crybabies to me.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. I don't really care. I mean, I'm fairly certain all the rules. So they've changed the stuff in Top Fuel. They made them heavier a little bit because they thickened the walls of the front half of the chassis. So maybe that's the reason this kind of went the way it went. But I mean, 341's 341. He's the first of the 340s.
Yeah.
In Top Fuel or dragster. In Funny Core or dragster. So it's the first one of the 340s. That's impressive.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
290 miles an hour to the 800 or 660. I can't remember now. But 0 to that.
Can you imagine the G-force in that car?
I couldn't. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
So part of the Cooper podcast, we talked about last podcast, he was talking to Clay Milliken about the Gs. And he said that the beginning Gs are pretty hard, 2 or 3 Gs. But then it ramps down track. It pulls harder and harder. Whereas us, all our Gs are in the front half, and then we dwindle down.
Yeah.
The Top Fuel or any top nitro car, it actually goes upwards down track.
Hey.
I think turbo cars are probably quite similar. I don't know. Do you have a G meter in your car, Kevin?
Yeah, it's like 1.27, I think, starting line.
Yeah. Does it go up or down track?
It falls off.
It falls off. So it's same way. It's just that amount of power. So the reason they do that is because they slip the clutch all the way in. So at some point in the track, it's locked up solid, and then it's accelerated. Those things launch at 10,200 RPMs and stay 10,200 RPMs the entire track. I mean, ideally.
Well, if you could take a ride on one of those, I bet that would fix your wisdom teeth.
Yeah, I've been dealing with some wisdom teeth problems the past week.
So much G's would probably push those things back in place.
I don't know if there's any dentists out there, but I could use somebody to cut this damn thing out. They told me April 8th, and if you're listening to this later in the year, that's 2 months from now.
Yes.
I'm a little pissed off.
That's a long time.
They sent me home with a script for Tylenol and Advil. They said take it at the same time.
Did you actually go get a prescription for it?
No.
You just stopped at the liquor store instead. So.
Well,
Yes.
I would think that would work, but it doesn't. All right, so this is the reason we want to do this a little different is because Kevin was actually at this event. Our next part of the news is the Drag and Drive Drag Radial Records. So on day one, Josh Davis driving Devin Vanderhoof's Mustang reset the radial tire record first day of competition at Orlando Speed World with a 641. But directly behind him, like the next pair, Brent LaSalle, he was clicked off a 635 at 228, just right behind him too. So Josh had the record for one pass.
And these are on radio
drag
slicks?
radials. No, drag radials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that was pretty cool. Did you end up seeing that run when you were down there? those two.
I heard about it. I didn't get to see it in person, but I heard about it.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive. And it seems like, remember when we had those Pro Mod records a few weeks back, the same thing happened where one would take the record and like two pairs back would take it again or back and forth. This particular one was directly behind him. I watched it on the live feed when it happened, and it was pretty cool.
This is a street-driven car.
Street-driven car.
That a door car, obviously, that's going 641 and a quarter.
On drag radio, so.
That is crazy.
And Devin's car is actually a convertible Mustang.
Oh,
yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then LaSalle, he has that green, the Snot Rocket car, the Mustang. It's really cool. Well, LaSalle did even better because he saved his best run to the last day, and he ran a 6.263 at 227 on day 5 at Orlando. So that's the record now. But what was cool, did you happen to see that run, Kevin, by chance?
I did.
You could. What's cool is he actually was the overall record or overall winner. So drag and drive, you take your averages of all 5 days, and that is what you kind of are basing yours against everybody else's competition-wise in your class. And Kevin will probably go into that a little later when we start talking about sick week that he had. And so basically one of the things that people go after is top speed, top ET type of thing. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, well, actually all the way, this is the first time that I'm aware of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you follow drag and drive more than I do. This is the first time a drag radial beat a slick. Mm-hmm. So, take for that's what it's for worth. But, Jeff Lutz was in competition, I think, for 2 days, and he had some faster times. But his average was drugged down when he quit. And I don't know what track he quit at, but he had some engine problems, right?
He quit on the 4th day. He just ran out of parts, he said.
Yeah, ran out
of parts.
Yeah. I couldn't pack that trailer any fuller.
But he's looking for some bearings at SGMP when I left. So
yeah, wow. Yeah, I saw some videos, some TikTok lives or something of them tearing the motor down, and he actually said that he already had planned on rebuilding this motor during the week, but he was trying to save it for the last day. So he goes, it doesn't really matter. I was already prepared to do this. But man, those events are crazy on cars and parts and everything else. But nonetheless, he ended up being the overall speed ET guy. So not only did he set a record, he actually came out on top, which is really impressive. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got the smallest motor by far. LaSalle does.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know what power plant is. What is it?
It's a Coyote
motor.
So it's like 302 inches.
Wow.
And it's got a stock block, stock crank, stock head deal.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then you got Vanderhoof that's 500 or 600 inches, big block Chevrolet, which should run way faster, you would think.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think a lot of it has to do with track condition to get speeds or whatever, what you're looking for. I don't know.
It does.
But yeah, I don't know. I was really happy for Devin, even though he wasn't driving it. The Josh Davis guy, I've never heard of him, but he was driving for this event. I was excited for him because I like the guy. He's actually got a YouTube channel as well. He does some wiring and stuff and talks about like a lot of the MSD products and Holley products. He's got some really cool stuff, and maybe there'll be a link in this description if I remember to do so. But definitely check his stuff out. It's cool. All right, so that was kind of all the news we had. Do you have anything that you would add?
No, I'm ready to jump into sick week here and see what Kevin's got. What kind of stories he's got to tell us.
All right, cool. So Kevin, talk about sick week. We talked 3 or 4 weeks ago when we talked to you originally, and we were prepping up and you were ready, and I followed you the whole way, but I didn't get to we didn't get to talk about your travels down there or anything like that. So let's start with you got everything packed up, ready to go down there. What's going on?
Yeah, we left the Friday after work.
Yeah,
and everything went good. We drove down to Macon, Georgia for the night when we stopped. And we get down there, and I thought, the wife said, I'm worn out. I'm just going to bed. I'll take a shower when I get up. So I go to sleep for about an hour. This is where it all goes to crap.
Yeah.
I go jump in the shower, and I got no hot water.
Oh.
I thought, well, this kind of sucks. So I step out of the shower, buck naked. The only thing I got is my cell phone flashlight. I get underneath the cabinet, look underneath there, turns the valves. All right, I got it fixed. Step back in the shower. Now I got zero water.
Oh.
So now I get back out of the shower for a second time, get underneath the sink, look around, actually study it long enough to figure out what's what. My little trailer's in there, so you can barely get over the little trailer underneath the sink. Finally figured out, and I had one of the valves turned wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were really showing a plumber's crack.
Yes,
The full crack.
Thank God it's dark and everybody else is sleeping.
So you
That's a sight you wouldn't have wanted to see.
you stayed in your gooseneck trailer on the way down there in Georgia?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So the first race was at Orlando Speedway, and you got down there. I guess the day before is when they tech everything in, right?
They tech everything. We got down there on Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
So we kind of just unloaded the car and chilled out and just kind of took it easy for the day. Then Sunday morning was tech.
Yeah.
We got in tech line real early, rolled through real early. So
How strict are they at the tech stuff?
surprisingly, it wasn't like I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basic safety stuff, make sure all the headlights, taillights, all that work.
Yeah.
But as far as I did, they didn't look at any of my safety equipment.
Oh, really?
As far as my driving suit and helmet and all that stuff, I thought they would. I had it all laid out, but they didn't look at it. So
Huh. Well, I heard I've heard that you hear a bunch of horns during tech because they actually test your horn. Were they doing it? Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't even think about it because you got to have a working horn to be legal for street use.
But so they tested you or teched you for the track too at the same time, not just the street, but the track?
Yeah.
And they didn't check any of your safety equipment.
Make sure the neutral safety worked.
Huh.
Make sure all the headlights, taillights worked. Make sure the cage was certified. So that was about it.
I'm assuming then that this was for everybody involved. I mean, the La Sala and those guys running that fast and they didn't check any safety equipment. That sounds pretty crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if they went a little harder on the faster guys. I'm not sure.
Well, they probably looked at his junk and said, yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, regardless, I still wear all my stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Which this year I actually started wearing a neck collar with my Hans this year. So
in years previously, I've watched some drag and drive events where they had to tech at every track. Is this not set up the same way?
no, you just tech one time.
I know at least with the Rocky Mountain Race Week, I saw that they got to the track and had to go through a tech line before they actually ran.
Oh.
So
Every time?
yeah, every day.
I mean, you're subject to that, but it didn't happen this year. So
Yeah, cool. So you get through tech and everything else. I know you made a test pass. That was that Sunday night as well.
yeah, that was Sunday afternoon. Yeah,
Okay, what kind of tune-up did you have in it, or what was your thoughts or your strategy there?
we was just trying to get something in eights. My original thought going into the deal was, let's get one pass a day, anywhere in the eights, and I'm happy.
Yeah, because
That's just not me.
yeah. When we talked, you just wanted to be in the eights, and you clicked off. What was your test pass? Was that an 870s?
It was an 869.
69. Okay.
Because I get the car all ready to go, and I think, well, everything's ready. I've checked my checklist. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I go up there, and the car won't shift.
Oh, really? Okay. You still having issues with that, huh?
Yes, driver issue.
It didn't turn the CO2 on?
I forgot to check the regulator on the CO2.
Yeah. So was that the same problem you had down in Bowling Green when we were with you? Or did
I was playing with pressures down there.
Okay.
Yeah. But this time I just forgot to set it.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one shift, buddy. It's a power glide.
I know it. Which I reached down there and shifted it. But
Yeah, you might as well just put it in drive and let it shift itself. No, dude, that's cool. The test and tune stuff, I saw there's quite a people out there testing, and there was something that happened that was very unfortunate for Steve Morrison. Did you end up watching that?
yeah.
That was really sad. I hate seeing that.
Yeah. I went down there and talked to him, see if they wanted to fix it. And his wife said, no, we're not fixing it.
Yeah. Well, they had another
You
car.
kind of got to respect a woman. I mean,
Yeah. And they had another, she was driving a car too. So they kind of just put together and went. But it was
yeah,
sad.
well, Steve's car, what happened is they blew a transmission line off.
And yeah, it got under his tire and he went to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So he had been fighting with some other stuff the week prior, and then this happened to him. I'm not really exactly sure, but it wasn't good. He ended up. Have you seen that wagon?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, maybe I'll put a picture of the wagon up here. He's got a really cool Woody style wagon, probably like a early '90s maybe Woody style wagon, and it's pretty. It is his driver's seat's actually in the back seat.
Oh.
Yeah, and
No,
he's got
I've
like
not
an
seen it yet.
extended. It's got a really long. Steering wheel, and I think the front seat might even be where it's supposed to be, or something like that on the passenger side. I can't remember now, but it's a really
I mean,
cool
the
car.
steering wheel kind of tilts over to the side. Almost
yeah.
goes in the passenger seat so he can get in and out.
Yeah, it's really cool. And plus he's got one of his big ass motors in it.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. But it's really neat.
Hey, put a picture up there.
Yeah. Oh, you see it?
Yeah. Okay.
Look pretty cool, right? No, you never want to see anybody wreck, and especially it's such a beautiful car, and he put a lot of effort into that program, and it just sucks, but it did happen, and it's cool that you went down there and asked him if you could lend a hand in any way. All right, well, day one, we're ready. What's going on through your head? What are you doing? What kind of adjustments did you make?
8 something, one and done. That was our whole goal for the first couple of days. So.
That is it, huh?
Yeah.
So what did you predict you were going to run?
Well, based on the 869 where it wouldn't shift, we figured around an 860.
Yeah. So
and we was happy with that.
Yeah.
So we go up there and make a lick, run 860 with a 7. That's good enough to turn in. I thought, that's a good start for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we jump on the road.
You're in the 850 class, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 860s. But the thing is Ruby in the Cletus McFarland camp, James Tall, he ran an 850 with a 0 in the same class on day one.
Yeah.
First pass.
Oh, right on the money.
Yeah. So that, it was a very, and he did end up not even winning the event.
Oh,
that's how tight that competition is.
Yeah.
So there was, I think I counted like 12 or 13 folks that were in the 850 class with you. Is that about right?
28.
28.
28
I was way wrong. I thought there was less than that. I apologize.
There was 2 different 850 classes.
Okay, there was that maybe that's the reason I counted wrong.
Yeah.
But you were in the same class as with James Tall, and then the guy ended up ultimately winning.
Correct.
That is pretty cool. So day one in the books, you go back to your pits, you hook up to your trailer. What kind of stuff did you have to do to change over?
The only thing we did was just swap fuel, air the tires up, and I've got a little bitty set of airbags underneath the car.
Yeah.
Put 20 pounds there in them, hooked the trailer up, and took off.
And that was it, huh?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking as hell. When you take off from the first track, you're like, well, I haven't pulled the trailer this far in this kind of heat. What's going to happen? So,
and I was told by Bill, our buddy, a mutual friend Bill, that you'd only put about 500 miles on the car itself, right?
Correct.
So, this is the full route was 835 miles is what technically it was. So, that's got to be pretty scary to go in. You're almost tripling your mileage in one run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's got to be
because when you leave the track, it's like you've got all the fans on, everything's working fine, and temperature just keeps creeping up and creeping up, creeping up. You're like, oh shit, when's it gonna stop?
Yeah.
But the car never got hot or nothing. So
how far was that first leg?
Yeah, where was the first race at? Was that at
Orlando?
It was in Orlando. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to clarify for everybody. So, okay,
I thought
we left Orlando. We headed east to Port Canaveral. We had a checkpoint in Port Canaveral, and then we went down the coast on A1A for about 85, 90 miles. And then we started cutting across the country to go over to Bradenton.
Mm-hmm. So Bradenton was the second. How many miles was that first leg?
223, I think, was the route.
That was a pretty good size leg then, because you're going on the opposite side of Florida, right? Does that kind of how it worked? Yeah. So you made it there, man. What a sigh of relief that was, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, and it was a pretty neat deal. Our third checkpoint for the day was Freedom Factory.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
So we ended up making 2 laps around the Freedom Factory. So
yeah. That was really cool because that's an iconic thing, and Cletus is making that track pretty cool. And then you see it all the time, and then be able to put your car on the track because you got to drive it on the track. Mm-hmm. Well, I bet
you don't realize how steep the banking is.
Yeah. Your trailer almost fall over.
No, I'm driving a wagon. It's made to go straight. It ain't made to go around the corner.
No. Yeah, I bet that was really cool to be able to see that in person. It has to be pretty awesome. Yeah. So. Day one's in the books, and I assume you're staying at hotels now? You're not camping in tents, are you?
Nope, stay in hotels.
If I was to be able to afford this, I would tent camp right there at the track.
You just throw a mattress on top of the trailer, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I would somehow figure out a way of pulling my stacker trailer behind my truck. Because I tell you, I was looking at some other things like, so the Drag and Drive that the Hot Rod Magazine puts on, there is dimension limitations to your trailer.
There's not anymore.
There isn't anymore? Okay.
They changed it. It's single axle trailer only.
Okay. Well, that would.
Well, I seen a Honda Civic come in there pulling a trailer big enough that it could fit the car inside the trailer.
That's crazy.
It was 3 times the size of the car.
Yeah. Ooh. I wonder what he needed for all that stuff. Was it a really fast Civic?
No,
Maybe,
I don't believe it was, but the trailer was huge. But
maybe he's sleeping it. Like I said, maybe that's
I
what
don't
he's
know.
doing. That's cool. All right,
But I mean, the wind drag had to be something ungodly.
I guarantee it. That's true, and that's something you don't think about. You're having a max effort motor, and then you're pulling a trailer. That's not exactly what you're trying to design to do. I mean, that could definitely build up some heat. The only good thing is it's 6 weeks in Florida. So, what kind of temperatures were we looking at on the first day and two?
The motor never got over 200 degrees the whole week.
Yeah. What kind of out?
And most of the time we was on E85, and then part of the time we was on gasoline because we couldn't find it. So
Yeah. What kind of outdoor temperatures? Was it 60s?
it got up into the 80s.
Did it? Wow. I bet that.
I mean, the
was
first
nice.
couple of days were like mid 60s, so it was fairly cool.
Yeah.
And then last day I think was 82 or 3 or something.
That's cool. So day 2, you get up from your hotel, big sigh. Let's get after the day. What's the plan on day 2? Anything different?
Just same thing. Try to have something in the 60s range and
Yeah.
try her again. So we show up to the track. Everything works good. Switch the car over and go up there. And I talked to my tuner, and he's like, just stay shallow. Try to give yourself a little bit of advantage.
Yeah.
Well, I get up there in the burnout box, and the wife says, did you turn the CO2 on? So I reach down, turn the CO2 on, and bump the damn handle. Well, then I flat blow the gasket trying to get her attention because I don't know what the regulator said on.
Oh no.
Oh.
So she opens the door. Yes, it's fine. So I'll go up there. I'm going to shallow stage. Well, a friend of mine that I run it, I don't say shit to her. So I'll go up there trying to shallow stage, and she knows I'm a turbo car. So she just goes in first to give me a
Yeah.
little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
So then I was just bumfuzzled by then. It was like, fuck it. Just make the pass. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it running 862.
Yeah. So that you left the tune the exactly the same. All you were doing is maybe changing the staging a little bit.
Well, before we left, we put switches on the dash. I've got a Holly touchscreen dash.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it where I could take up to 3 degrees timing out or add up to 3 degrees of boost.
Okay.
So in the first couple of days, I ran with 2 degrees timing out
Mm-hmm.
because we was like 500 or 1,000 feet below sea level. But when I went to go in shallow, a friend of mine, I'm bumping in. As I bump in, she bumps in. Well, one more pump of the pedal and I'm in, and I've got no boost.
Mm.
So I had to jam on the trans brake, stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything over a second reaction time, they add to your ET.
Yep.
So now I'm like, oh shit, I can't sit here long.
Mm-hmm.
So I stood on it, waited about a half second or so I thought, and let off, and I was at like 5.1 pounds of boost instead of 7. So it slowed me down a little, but I mean, it was still a decent pass.
So what was that pass?
A 62 with a 5, I believe it was.
Slowed you down a little. It sounded like it was the exact same.
Yeah, slowed me down a little. I mean, I ran a 60 the day before and a 62 then. So
Yeah. That was one thing that we hadn't talked about either, is on this event, you have to leave within a second of the tree dropping. Mm-hmm. So in previous or other type of events, they'll be on the trans brake as long as they need, so the other guy will leave and the other competition will be a half track before they launch.
Yeah.
But they decided that it's kind of dangerous to do that. Yeah. So now you have to leave within 1 second of the tree dropping, or they add it to your time. Correct? Is that what you said?
yeah.
So basically, you're not finish line racing because you're not really racing the other guy. You're just doing your time.
Yeah,
right?
and normally they don't even line up 2 cars of the same class.
Yeah.
So they'll just call what. So they had 4 A, B, C, and D classes that would come up, and then how did they decide which one you were in? Is it just how you got teched in?
It's based on your time.
Is it?
It's like 7:49 or faster was A class. Or no. A class was 8:49 and faster. And then B that I was in was 8:50 to 9:99. And then C was 9:99 to I think 11:50. And then D was like 11:50 and slower.
I gotcha. So I guess they do kind of pair them at least somewhat parity, but you still 850 to 10. That's quite a big difference. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you don't really care what the other guy's doing. They may not even be in your class. You're racing to race.
Yeah.
But the big thing was to make sure that they both left on the time. They implemented the rule of where you had to leave within a second of the tree dropping, mm-hmm. and it's just that's to keep people from staying on the line and getting the boost pressure exactly right, and then releasing to get their time slip correct. So
yeah, the problem is if you got a 12-second car and he leaves on time, and then you got a 6-second turbo car that's building boost that he leaves. Mm-hmm. Where's 6-second difference? There's 75, 80 mile an hour at the finish line.
Yeah, easy. Yeah,
and God forbid if the faster car runs up behind you, something happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a safety deal that we'll just make them leave on time, and if they don't, here's the penalty. So
Yeah,
that kind of evens the situation out.
I'm kind of glad they started that up because I think it is a good thing for the safety aspect of it. But on all the other drag and drive events, I think they're still currently, you just leave whenever you leave, right? I haven't heard.
Now, drag week, last year they changed it
They changed it there too.
to the 1 second deal also. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so
And it's nice because most of the time we run in our class. I mean, so A group runs first, and then B group would run. Some running cars fairly similar to mine.
I'm
So I mean,
surprised.
at worst, it's a second and a half difference.
I'm surprised they run A group first. You'd think that A group would want some cars down the track to put some rubber down, but then again, I mean, if you're talking C group, probably is not going to put a whole lot of rubber down going as slow as they are.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that doesn't matter, but yeah, I would have thought that they would at least want to be like running the second class down because those 850 guys.
Yeah, they do change it up sometimes.
Yeah, but
Like in
that
South Georgia, the dew is pretty heavy, so they run C first, try to get some dew up off the track and get the track all the way dry. And then Orlando, just to be nice, they let the D guys run first because they've been last all week. So
yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. The track is they make it a radial prep track, correct?
yeah,
So the slick guys are a little bit of a disadvantage because they gotta make their their tuning to where they don't square the tire up and shake. So that was a struggle, and that's probably part of the reason that the radial tires are getting so much faster is because they are prepping it for radial. All right, so you were happy with a 62, 862.
well, I wasn't really happy with it.
Why didn't you go back up?
Well, our friend of ours was running with me. We both wanted to get one and done.
Yeah.
And I knew that they'd already cut the lanes off for our class.
Right.
So if I was to wait, I was going to have to wait for all the C and D to run and then wait till they all run session. So I might wait another 5 or 6 hours to get a pass.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So I thought, well, it's close enough.
And if your mindset going into this, you just wanted an 8-second pass.
Yeah.
You know it is. All right, so you decided 62 was good enough. Not happy with good enough. You get everything switched over and you make the drive to, what was the next one?
Next one was Gainesville.
Gainesville. How many miles is that?
It was like 190 something.
Okay, so pretty equivalent to the last one. You know, it's
Yeah, we had a nice drive on Tuesday because we ended up stopping at this Motor Enclave, which is I'd heard of it, but I'd never been there.
yeah.
It's like a 200-acre like motorsports park.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got garages on site and like a 1.2-mile road course and
Oh yeah,
an
I've heard
off-road
about
track.
that.
And,
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
mean, we pull up into this thing and we're going through this. It looks like a trailer park type community, and I thought, man, this is not the best part of town. All of a sudden, it opens up and we pull in, all paved roads, gated deal. I mean, super nice place. I mean, they got garage space to rent. They have their own museum.
Yeah, no, I've heard about it. I know there's some communities in the country that do offer that, similar to the kind of communities they have for airplane hangars and stuff. Have you ever seen any of those where they have a little airstrip and they live on site? But that's kind of starting to be popular where they have like racing communities where they have roundy ground or actually course tracks. Most of the time I've seen with some houses on it. Be pretty cool until you got old and want them off your lawn. Tired of hearing the noise.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be the world's largest one, but it's down in Tampa.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so you made it down there, or up there, I guess, in this particular case. And again, I'm sure a sigh of relief. You made a 200-mile journey. Anything interesting that happened on that? The checkpoints or anything like that?
No, it was a pretty easy drive that day. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. Just another day, more miles.
All right, hotel room it is. We going to take a nap.
It was.
And then you wake up next day. What's thought process now?
I was getting kind of aggravated at that point. I'm like, I don't know why I can't run, why I'm not shoving myself to be a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, a competitive person that's like, screw them 860s. I'm going to turn this thing up. And if I have to run again,
And that's
we'll just take the hit and run again.
That's the risk you take too. If you turn it up too much and run an 849, you can't turn that slip in, so you have to wait the 5-6 hours. You have to, or you turn in a 20-second slip. So there is a risk there for sure.
Yeah, and our third day from Gainesville to South Georgia was going to be a short drive.
Yeah,
It was only 100 and something miles, so we wasn't too worried about it. If I had to make another one, I had to make another one.
yeah,
I mean, it just wasn't top of our concern. I talked over with my teammate. She said, do what you want to do, because she might run under also. We didn't know, so.
yeah. All right, so you got everything switched over, got in the lanes, and you changed the tune-up. What kind of stuff did you do to see about picking up some ET?
We just pulled 1 degree of timing out instead of 2,
Yeah.
just to try to get a little closer. And the air was pretty decent. So
Yeah. Well, you did do that. You got a little closer.
yeah, we ran a 52 that day, which I was
52.
definitely satisfied with.
Yeah.
So
And as you knew, because I was taking pictures of my phone as you were making these passes and sending to you, saying good job. But I watched every one I found you or could find you on. And sometimes it took me several hours of sitting here listening and watching till you would come up. So
yeah,
good job, Corey. But I was screaming. I was real excited for you. So when I saw 52, I said, man, that's killer. That's really cool that you got that close to a 50.
Yeah.
So, well, you had to have been excited. What kind of emotion was that?
yeah, I was definitely excited. It was one of my better passes of the week. So
Yeah.
and like I said, like my tutor said, I wasn't mad about it. It was just you go with the expectations that you just want to finish the event. The number one thing, try to run an 8, try to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then after a couple of days, you're getting kind of a rhythm
Mm-hmm.
that the car's doing good. You're not worried about the drive anymore. Now you're willing to take a little bit more risk where you wasn't in the first couple of days
Mm-hmm.
because there's just too many unknowns. So
Yep. So excited. We're done. How'd your partner do? They go too fast, or where'd they get?
no, they ran a 60. She ran a 62 the second day and something in the 50s the third day, I believe.
Okay, so good. You guys are both ready to pack up and go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a little bit of a break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk about day 4, I believe, right?
Yep.
South Georgia. So stick with us.
All right, man.
All right, now we're back
Hey.
with Kevin. Thank you for watching that ad break with us. And sticking around. We're going to talk about. Let's see. The next track was South Georgia Motorsports Park, right?
Yeah, but let's back up to Gainesville. We had a pretty fun time at Gainesville. We left Gainesville. We go to the first checkpoint.
Yeah.
They're recording that through there. And the announcer comes up and says, "Hey, now might be your time to shine." I said, "Well, what are you asking me to do?" She said, "Well, you can figure it out." I said, "No, I played your game. What do you really want?"
Yeah.
Now they were recording as soon as we got on the road and did a big trailer burnout.
Yeah.
Just having some fun. So
Make sure you send us a video of that. We'll play it behind us.
we'll do it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, trailer burners are big into the drag and drive stuff, and it's really cool. You sent me the video already, but I want you to make sure you send it to me again because I don't know if I still have it.
Yeah, we did one there, and then I get to the next checkpoint, and a friend of mine goes, "Well, I missed that one. Can you do another one?" And I'm like, "Oh, seriously?"
Is it
So
hard? Is it hard to do them?
No,
No.
it's easy. So we leave the checkpoint, and I tell everybody because we're at the bar. We stopped at this bar for a checkpoint. I told everybody at the bar, I said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do a trailer burnout. If y'all want to video this." So hell, there must have been 10 people lined up outside the road just waiting.
Yeah.
No, I get out of trans brake, get it up 3 or 3,500, let go of the trans brake, and stand on it. So
Let loose. Now you have a street tire, right? You swap your tires over.
no, I run the same tire all week.
No.
I was on a set of 275 Pros. Yeah, I put a brand new set on right before I left.
Yeah. So you drove, but you drove with them too, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought you'd have swapped them, but that's awesome. So you weren't worried about? Did you have a spare just in case?
Yeah, I had one spare just in case something happens.
Okay, and they're double bead lock, right? So you could easily
Yeah,
swap
so you
them.
can change them yourself.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Trailer burnouts are pretty awesome, and you probably do a pretty cool one. I'm gonna make sure that video is behind us if it's not already. All right, so
yeah, I mean, we run 30 pounds there. The tires going down the road, so I mean,
Yeah.
it gets pretty spicy.
yeah, what kind of pressure do you use at the track?
Like 18.
18. Yeah, I know they're a
Yeah.
lot more than a slick. Hell,
Yeah.
I've heard them higher than that. I've heard some people run them in the 20s, which is crazy because we run like 12 or 8 depending on the tire
Yeah,
size.
the more power, the more air you need. So
Yeah, cool. How was South Georgia? Got up.
it was awesome.
What'd you decide to do on this one? Any adjustments, changes?
Just try to still run fairly quick. So
Yeah. So you left the tune up the same as you ran the last previous run?
that day we run no timing out at all, just straight up on the tune up
Yeah.
because the weather wasn't as good. It was Gainesville the day before. So
Yeah.
we go down through there and run an 8:53.
53. I saw that. I saw that one too, I think. That was a good
Yeah.
pass.
And that track is long. I mean, I hit the parachute. I never even touched the brakes the whole shutdown.
Yeah, there's been a few tracks we went to. I pulled the chute. I was like, I shouldn't have done that. Now I got to repack this some bitch, and
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the end of the track. So that's a pretty nice facility there.
Yeah, it's definitely nice.
All right. So 53, you're real happy. Well, I would be happy with 53. Maybe not as happy.
Yeah, I was happy because that helped my average quite a bit. Those 2 days really picked my average up. So
absolutely. And we could go into at the end of where you ended up in the ranking here, but you did really well.
yeah.
So how long is the trip from South Georgia back to Orlando?
It was 277 miles was the route.
So that's the longest leg.
So it was our longest day by far.
Ooh. How was it?
And there's only one place to get ethanol on the route, E85, and I like to be on E85 just because it helps the fuel pump run cooler.
Yeah, yeah. So how was
we
it?
left the racetrack, and I filled up every jug I had. I filled the car up plus all my jugs, so I had like 45 gallons of E85 with me.
Yeah.
To make the trip. But I mean, we run 65 down the interstate without too much issue, so that's about as hard as I'm willing to push it. So
yeah. Any cool checkpoints?
We had an ice cream stop that day, so that was a nice checkpoint.
Yeah.
You pull in, fuel the car up, get some ice cream. So, and I can only go about every 75 miles. I'm putting fuel in the car.
How big's your tank?
It's a 15-gallon tank, but I don't like getting it much below half.
Yeah. Is your fuel pump in the tank?
No, it's external.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right.
But you can hear it start to whine quite a bit when you get the fuel level a little bit low. So
yeah, I understand. Yeah,
usually by 75 miles, your ass is getting sore and you need a drink anyway. So
yeah. We just drove 400 miles, and it was like I was ready to walk around.
Yeah, but 400 miles on aluminum turkey's different. 400 miles on an air seat and a toter hose. I can promise you.
Well, you're not wrong. Maybe add some air seats. You got air suspension in the rear. Add some air seats in there.
I told a friend of mine midway through, I said, at this point, if you'll rub my ass, I'll rub yours because yours got me as sore as mine. She goes, it was. So
I bet.
I just couldn't get her to take me off all the offers.
Yeah, I tell you, it's got it. I mean, everything's vibrating in a race car. I mean, everything.
Oh yeah, I mean the dash is vibrating, the switch panel's vibrating.
Yeah, I noticed in long trips with the toter, because the steering wheel vibrates a little bit, that my hands will go numb. So I bet I bet your whole legs, butt, hands, everything's kind of going numb after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you just get tired of riding. That's why we just take breaks fairly often.
So did that one only have 2 checkpoints or more?
2 checkpoints.
Yeah.
I got a funny story about South Georgia. I make the pass, and about halfway through the pass, the rearview mirror flies off again.
Yeah.
I guess all the vibration. Set screw backed out a little bit. The rearview mirror goes whizzing by my head about half track.
So the mount was still on the windshield, but the
mount's still on the windshield, but the rearview mirror ended up all the way against the hatch.
Yeah, rearview mirror left the chat.
Yes. Yep. I've got it on in-car video, so I'll have to send that one to you. So.
Yeah, do that. We'll put it behind us. That's cool.
Yeah, you can see it whizzing by your head. So.
Yeah. All right, you made it back to Orlando, and what a relief that would have to be after struggling. You didn't struggle because you've built a really good car, but just the thought of something going wrong probably was stressful, and you finally make it back. And from what I was told, or listened to somebody say it, is when you get back to Orlando, you're not allowed to go back to your trailer yet. You have to stay in a hotel that night.
Correct. Yes, you have to stay in a hotel.
So you got some good sleep in a hotel, even though that your trailer was there, which is a little out of expense.
Well, I wouldn't say good sleep, but
why wasn't it good?
Because we stay in the parking lot and bullshit half the night. So
there you have that. You're talking about. I would take that over sleep any day.
Kind of self-inflicted wound kind of deal. So
don't tell us it was your fault, because that's just part of the thing. That's what you got to do. It's part of the fun of all this.
The girls would go in, take a shower, and go to bed, and I'd struggle in 3 or 4 hours later.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You wake up on day 5, and you're ready to get after the day.
Yeah, because you got 20 miles left to get from the hotel to the track, and you just want to get it over with.
Yeah. So you get that done, you get the trailer unhooked, and you get up in the lanes. Change anything?
Nope, we just added a pound of boost because the weather got hot. It was like 80-something degrees. It got quite a bit warmer, so we just added a pound of boost. And there's oil downs everywhere on Friday.
That was a big oil down day. I think a lot of people were trying to push their shit.
Yeah, because we got up there, and I'm all strapped in and ready, and then they go, so shut the car off. Just going to be a little while. So they get everything taken off and back out, and then they get back in the car again. And then they tell us it's going to be a little while again. So then I get back out again. I'm like, good Lord, it took forever to make a pass. So
this is one day I did not get to watch yours live because there were so many damn oil downs that I couldn't. That it was just I had things to do, Kevin. My life does not revolve around yours, okay?
I know some people have to work for a living, so I don't know what your damn problem is.
Yeah. I had it on in the background so I could listen for you or listen for when they start racing again and try to pay attention, but I never did get the thing to do it. But I will tell you, on the first day, I could hear the announcer real well because I didn't actually pay for the live stream. I just watched it on TikTok. Some guy on TikTok was live streaming it, so he was kind of narrating a little bit. But I could hear in the background the announcers talking about your car and how cool it was, and that you built it so you could drive with more than the two people normal people have, and they talked you up pretty good. I don't know if you heard any of that from any of the videos you have. But
I heard it quite a bit. And Derek's a hell of a nice guy. He does a lot of announcing for the NMRA stuff, that 860 stuff that we normally do.
Okay. Yeah.
He's an announcer for there, so he's familiar with the car and everything.
Yeah.
So
I just thought it was cool.
Nice.
It was cool that he kind of knew your story and was talking about it. I thought that was neat. All right, so you get up in the staging lanes after all these oil downs and probably a little sweaty. I assume it was warm that day, or is it not?
Yeah, it was definitely warm. So
and you let go of the button for the last time.
I did at 8:54.
54. That's not bad. That is not
No,
bad.
that wasn't bad. And I thought about going up, making another pass, and asked the wife, I said, what do you want to do? She goes, we did all the math, and it wasn't going to help my average, even if I could go 50 flat.
Yeah.
It wouldn't help me get up ahead of anybody else. So it was like, she was tired, they was tired, so I said, well, we'll just be done. Which was nice to do one pass and done every day.
I think I even texted you one of the days and told you if you ran an 850, what your final average would be. I think I did, because I did the math as you were going through it, and it's you couldn't beat the people that are there, providing they turn tickets in. If they didn't turn their tickets in, then there would be a chance you may get something. But there was some really big competition in the 850 class, and you did well. What did you end up placing at?
I ended up at 5th place with an 856 with a 5.
5th place out of 28.
That's pretty impressive, man.
It's very respectable.
And I was 4th for a while till one guy got moved class.
Yeah.
He was in the wrong class, so he got moved over, and he ended up getting 4th, which knocked me down one spot. So
I see you're surrounded by a lot of Mustangs on this list here.
Yep.
A lot of them.
A lot of Fox bodies, it looks like.
Yeah. That's
and I learned some stuff that I'm gonna try next year. So
yeah. Well, you gonna stick with 850?
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah. I told you, I think I even texted you when I saw your 50, your last pass. I was like, why don't you just go up there and rip a 7 out? I know it's not going to fix your average. I just wanted you to do a 7, and impress everybody out there.
I wanted to. The wife's like, no, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd beat him up the whole week.
Yeah.
I thought,
let's
screw
get it. Yeah. So you get everything loaded up and start heading home. You make it home all right? Like the same?
Yep, made it home fine.
Yeah.
Other than daughter was sick all the way right home.
So we tried to schedule this podcast a little while ago, and he told me that from sick week, his wife and daughter got sick.
Got sick. That's the way it works, isn't it?
Yeah, we went down with the sickness, literally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You're around a lot of people, so there's some sickness there. But driving around and being uncomfortable for that long, that's not great for your immune system either. So you got to
lack of sleep. Probably nothing helps. So.
Yeah, you got to be pretty tough.
Hey, I got something to lift your spirits a little bit, Kevin.
What's that?
So I've been looking at this list of all these racers. Did you know that there was 4 Kevins racing? And you were the number one. You were number one, Kevin.
Hey,
damn,
number one.
That's nice. I appreciate that.
So I tell you that screw your place that you normally. You're the number one Kevin.
You're the number one Kevin.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll call it Kevin Week.
All right. So what's your next event? When are you going to do the next one?
Bowling Green's got a race April 27th.
Yeah.
Their streetcar series coming up.
Yeah.
Got to run an extreme power rider class.
Yeah. And is that a full tilt deal, or is it indexed?
It's a full tilt heads up deal.
Yeah, cool. That'd be fun.
8th mile. So
what dates are those?
April 27th is the first one.
Okay, cool. So if you're listening to this and you want to see what are you calling that? The Zephalisis?
Zephzilla.
Zephzilla, that's what it was.
Because it's a Mercury Zephyr and it's got a Godzilla motor in it.
I tried combining Zeph and syphilis, but I
started saying, no, it didn't get any diseases while we're down there. You're sick, but no disease.
What kind of sickness was that you guys?
If you want to see say it again.
Zephzilla
in person. Make sure you make that event. That's cool. You gonna I know you signed up for next year's sick week. You gonna do another drag and drive this year?
Nope, out of vacation time. So
Oof, yeah, it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen.
Yep.
You'll have that on those
Promise.
big jobs.
yeah, I promised the wife I'd go on a family vacation. So
Yeah, I get
it
it.
kind of eliminates another one this year. So
100%, 100%. Man, we appreciate you coming back on the podcast and letting us know about your week. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
We've never done a drag and drive. We've always talked about maybe building something to do it. It's a lot of investment, a lot of time, and you got to want it.
It looks like it would be a
it's-
blast.
yeah, it is. It's the most fun I've ever had racing for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is probably the most amount of money I've ever spent to go racing. So
Do you want to touch on that? I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that. How much something
Yeah.
like that run? How much would it run for you?
$3,800 is what we spent for the week.
That's not bad.
Well, yeah.
Even fuel down there, fuel back.
Yeah, that's fuel down there, fuel back. But
That's
you
not
got to
bad.
figure that we spent 4 nights sleeping in the trailer that we didn't have hotels for.
Well, I understand,
Yeah.
but still, I would have thought it would have been a lot more. I would have guessed it to be 6.
Well, if something would have broke, it would have been a lot more.
Yeah. So how I guess things is $1,000 every day.
Yeah.
Whenever we go anywhere. But that's not bad. $3,800. You guys weren't eating fancy dinners. We'll say that, huh?
No, we spent what we need to spend. So
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. So, and you guys out there, if you can spare $3,800, and then you probably got $60,000 in that Zephyr. So
there's more than that in
I was
there.
going to say that, but there's probably a little bit more than that. in that.
I was trying to tell them the wife price.
Oh, the wife price. Yes, that's right.
The price you tell your wife.
Yeah. Always
I don't
half.
hide nothing from her. She's an accountant for a living, so
Yeah.
you better not hide anything from her because she'll
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, well, and I'm the same with my wife. She ain't an accountant, but she's just really good at knowing when I'm bullshitting. So I can't tell her the wrong number. She'll know.
You're not cooking the books.
Yeah, no, she knows what I spend. So, but
We've
that's
been
cool.
together for so long. When
Yeah.
I raced years ago, I didn't hide it then. I ain't hiding it now. So
That's a good way to start.
Yeah, 100%. Be honest with it and move on. But yeah, if you have and you don't have to spend that amount of money to go to a drag and drive event. They have classes for people, and a lot of times people are just doing it to do it. If they're not worried about winning a class, they just want to be involved. Get you a car that you can do it in. There's plenty of the cars down there that weren't like real fast drag stuff. I saw some 12-second, 13-second cars.
yeah, I mean, you could have a 15-second car and do it just for the experience. So.
Exactly, just for fun. So do it. It sounds to me that you could easily do it for $3,800 or less. Mm-hmm. So was that your entry fee as well? Because the entry fee was pretty high.
Yeah, the entry fee was $500.
Was that included in the 38?
Yeah.
So, damn. I mean, that ain't bad, dude. You did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did real well.
Yeah, we did pretty good. So, I mean, hindsight being 2020, I looked at classes after I got home with some averages, and if I would have swapped classes to the heavyweight class, I could have got second place, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until I got home, and I'm like, well,
Is what it is.
would have been nice, but I mean, still pays the same.
Yeah.
Nothing. So.
Yeah. It was bragging rights. And you're the number one Kevin, so you got that.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I mean, I'll be signing autographs later today if you want.
Hey, save one for us, okay?
I will. Corey's daddy, right on his forehead.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we're gonna have to do a grudge race, but we're gonna have to index it. You're too fast for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the back tire or the hit or what you
Nah,
want?
well, we could work that out. I guess I don't know what I haven't been around long enough to know what I would need to beat you in, because you're a whole half second and a half faster than me.
Well, until you get your tires on there.
Well, I
Don't-
won't be able to run 8.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 8 flat at best, but he's running 789, so you're fastest, right?
Yeah.
So he'd still get me
Yeah,
there.
that's
I'll just have to
true.
get him on the tree.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to the 8th? Give you a little bit more advantage.
Yeah, because you build up a little. Maybe. What kind of 8th mile times are you running? 5:20s, 5:30s?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what I predict I'm going to run.
And that's what I'm going to tell you anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's
no,
what,
the car's been 511 to the 8th.
okay. Well, that's still a little bit faster than me, but that could be margin of reaction time there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just don't know what would be a reasonable. I haven't been around grudge racing enough to know what a reasonable ask would be to try to make it a tight race. How much advantage do you actually get off getting the hit? I think it's probably 100th, right?
It's every bit of that, I would say.
Yeah, I would think. And then, I just had, if we do 8th mile, that would probably get me right in the ballpark. It would be a tight race.
Because what do you run, like 560s to the 8th?
No, 5:51 was my fastest 8th mile time. But with the bigger tires, I should be able to apply more power early. And I'm predicting 525, 530s, maybe more than that, depending on how much I can push it. The problem is I could never put more power in the beginning of the run because I would just blow the tire off. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll work something out. I've got a grudge race with Blue Bayou that I'm going to hang my rods out for at the end of the year. So, but that one's going to be a tight race. That's going to be fun. He heads up. But nonetheless, man, we really appreciate you coming on and talking about the week. That was cool. And Maybe we'll have you on again later once you do something else cool, like maybe next week.
Next week.
Next year. Maybe next year when you do Sick Week again, we'll kind of do the same thing and talk about.
Yeah, we'll probably end up doing the same class, but
yeah,
I learned a lot of guys run traction control, which I didn't have.
yeah,
Which if you look at everybody ahead of me all had traction control on because you could see that the speed day to day was within like 1 mile per hour.
right.
Where mine was like 5 or 6 mile an hour difference from day to day.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I
So
I never thought about that.
Hindsight being 2020, I guess I should have put it on, but it's like I'd already spent enough money. I didn't really want to spend another $500 just to.
That's a good.
Nothing.
Good thought. I mean, we could go on forever if we keep doing this, but that's a good thought. If you had like an ARC module style traction control, you could just tell the computer what you wanted to run, and it should produce it pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pick a drive shaft curve that's about what you want and just let it ride the dots all the time. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to keep in touch with you, but we need to end this guy. we're already long in the tooth.
We can always talk a long time when Kevin's on.
Yeah,
because he's number one Kevin.
He's number one Kevin.
And I like the bullshit. So
yeah. All right,
it's hard
Kevin.
to bullshit a bullshitter, you know.
Well, we'll catch you on the next time. Okay.
Sounds good, guys. I sure appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks, Kevin. All right, man. That was pretty awesome hearing Kevin's story about how he went down the Sick Week and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing, the Sick Week drag and drive stuff, man. You know, I didn't really know a lot about it, but being able to learn, through Kevin and stuff, and then watching all the clips on, man, it's got to be a great whole week. I mean,
it's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we go for a whole week in Bowling Green for the Hot Rod Reunion, and we don't only get to race about 2 days of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fresh out of qualifying is all we get.
Yes.
But could you imagine racing every day?
Yeah.
And then I think the coolest part of it is driving down the road, track to track and seeing other race cars and people you're friends with.
Yes.
That's got to be a lot of fun. You remember cruising as a kid?
Oh,
I don't know if you did any of that, but cruising the mall, cruising lot and stuff. It's similar, but you're just going further.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool. It's a really cool idea. And I believe the first one was through Hot Rod, their drag week. And then now they've branched off to, there's a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably 20 or 23 or 25 or
Yeah.
something of these drag and drive events per year. So Sick Week actually has a Sick Summer that's coming as well. So, and that's up here towards the north.
I saw that, yeah.
But there's also Rocky Mountain Race Week. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, if you're into that, there's plenty of racing.
Yeah. One thing Kevin was talking about was he's going to a race up in Beach Bend on the 27th, but we're not going to be there.
No.
Because as of right now, we're going to go down to Arkansas, and Corey's going to race his truck in the Outlaw class down at the tailgate throwdown. There we go.
Thank God we got it right that time.
Yeah. Ryan and those guys out there, they're putting on a good event, and we're sponsoring one of the classes out there. The Lion Like podcast is. So we're excited about that. And that's the 27th of April in Newport, Arkansas. So that's going to be a fun time.
Yep. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of viewer mail. This one's going back to the last episode with the Beach Bend. Brock Porter, he's the track manager for them. Rocky Man, no, Rocket Man, Robbie Friel, sorry, Robbie. He wrote on there, I might be a little biased, but I think Beach Bend is one of the best facility tracks around. They have something for everybody in one location.
That's a good point we didn't even bring up with Brock about there's not only is there campground, but there's a whole amusement park.
Yeah, roller coasters and Ferris wheels and all that. Yeah.
It is a good place if you want to bring a family to a race because you can kind of split off. If you're a racer, you have the kids go over to the amusement park and you can be at the racetrack.
Actually, we did that before I started racing. You were there. We had the kids there and went to the amusement park and kids. Not all kids like all the fast cars and stuff. And they're kind of like stuck there. So it makes it really nice.
My daughter went down there with us one time, and then she with a friend of ours, their daughter, they went over there together and spent the day.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. It's a cool environment.
Yeah, it is. Hal Canode wrote in there about the same episode about Beach Bend. He said, I've been racing there for 50 years. They've always been treated great. Consider Beach Bend my home track.
It's cool. We need to get Hal on too.
Yeah, we do. We've been talking about him a couple times. He wrote us a lot of stuff a few episodes back. Actually, a lot of episodes back.
Yeah.
And so we do need to get him on there. He's got to have some great
He
stories.
has to.
Yeah.
And that, Hal is the guy that built Rocky Man's
Rocky Man. You're saying
you did it to me. Rocket Man's chassis for his dragster.
I think we're gonna get some hate mail after this.
Probably.
Rocky Man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, one last time the ARC trivia for the $50 gift certificate. Email us your answer at linelockedpodcast@gmail.com. The question is, what year did Auto Rod Controls bring a working version of the 6001 to the PRI show? So give us your answers. We'll get back with you on the next
Email
episode.
us at linelockedpodcast@gmail.com. It's up here.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
it.
Send that. Do not put it in the comments or we'll delete it. We have to delete it because we don't want nobody cheating.
Absolutely. So if you're listening to us on the actual podcast platforms where it's just audio, you can come see the actual videos of us doing it on the Blood Brothers Racing channel on YouTube and see it all happen right in front of you.
Live but recorded.
Live but recorded.
So I'm Corey.
I'm Chris.
And we are
line locked. What?
I don't know. It has to be a natural thing, I guess.
What just happened there? Did that just happen?
It did.
See you guys. Have a good night.
See ya.